Coming up on Inside the Summit League is cost of attendance coming to a Summit League school near you. Two league institutions have already announced that they will make the move next season. Summit League basketball players are signing up to continue their careers in pro ligas all over Europe. We will run down who is playing where. And a couple of men's soccer teams making some national noise right now, creeping closer to the top 25 in the country. Welcome to Inside the Summit League. We start with men's soccer. And Omaha is off to the best start in program history. The Mavs are undefeated. They are getting some votes this week in the national coaches poll. Meanwhile, Denver is in the top 25 this week. The Pioneers are in at number 19 in the nation. They won the Summit League last year. They have a new head coach this year. Jamie Franks moves up from assistant coach, and the Pioneers expect to just keep on rolling.
I thought it was good. I thought it was good to kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. But above everything else, our older guys understand what it's going to take, and I don't think that they've been satisfied. Two exits in the first round of the NCAA tournaments the past two seasons in games that we thought we played pretty well. I like the intensity and I like the competitiveness, but there's definitely some glaring things that we need to work on.
I just think that it's a different expectation. It's a higher expectation. He expects more, and I think the added level of professionalism that he brings is really exciting to be around since this is my last year. I mean, I've seen kind of in the past 3 years how it's been, and we've improved each year, and it's just really exciting to see where he takes it next.
Jamie obviously had a lot of success at Wake Forest, and them as a group, he understood that their culture is what made them successful. So he said he had a bunch of guys, and they all stayed all summer long, and they built a culture. And for like the years that he was there and the years after, that culture still remained, and that's what made him successful. So he understands like what that looks like logistically. He understands what it looks like during the summer. He understands what it looks like during training, the intensity, stuff like that, and he's trying to not only mimic that, but improve it here.
I think my biggest change is going from an assistant to the head coach is, all the final decisions stop at me. And, I'm ready for that. And I think, I think the guys there's a high level of trust between us because they know that I'm going to be honest with them. And sometimes it's not the easiest conversation to have, but, they know at the end of the day that I'm looking out for their best interest.
The team as a group, like the guys that have been here, we've always listened to Jamie, and Bobby ran things before, but Jamie also played a huge role in that too. So as he's made that transition, some things have changed and a lot of things haven't. So guys are okay, and guys trust him and understand what he's trying to do, and he's done a lot of work, and we can see that, and we trust him, and we think we're gonna kill it this year.
Anytime the expectations are high here, and guys and coaches before us have set that. So for us, it's to win the regular season Summit League championship, to win the conference tournament, and to go to a college cup.
I mean, the goal is to make it to a college cup. That's what we've talked about since day one, since Jamie became a part in a larger role. So I think every day we're just going to work towards that.
And Denver's off to a 3-0-1 start to this season. They play at St. John's in New York this Saturday. Well, back to Omaha. The Mavericks picked up two big wins this past weekend, one of them over the number 13 team in the country. And Omaha has the players of the week. Mark Moulton on offense, a junior from Omaha, scored the lone goal in the win over 13th-ranked UC Irvine. And then Moulton also had 3 points in a win over Cal State Northridge, and he leads the league with 3 goals and 7 points right now. And his teammate is the Defensive Player of the Week. Joseph Giddis is a sophomore from Florida. The keeper's 3-0 this season with a .67 goals against average. Women's football coming up next. Denver is the Summit League favorite again this year, and we will see what the Pioneers have back this season.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau, and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Welcome back. Now to women's soccer. Denver is in its third season now in the Summit League. They won the regular season and the league tournament in their first year in the league, finished third in the regular season, lost in a shootout in the tournament final last year, and this year they are picked by the coaches to be back on top again. Here is a look at what Coach Hooker has to work with this season.
You know, I think with our team, a lot of freshmen and sophomores, so a lot of newness, coming in. Just right now, really working on the upperclassmen, taking some leadership of the team. We've had some really good training sessions, some really good experiences. The trip to Vail was a great team bonding experience, and getting to know the freshmen and sophomores just a little bit more, and kind of bringing in the freshmen and making sure that they're having a good experience has been wonderful.
As a freshman, you're coming in, you're always with your freshman class. I felt like us as upperclassmen has gotten a chance to bring them up and be like, hey, you can come up and feel like a senior and be with us, like you don't have to be separated. So I think team chemistry with our team has gotten really big. We're just trying to fill the gaps of players that have left and trying to find who's going to go where. Also, I haven't been playing much because I have been coming off an injury, so that's been a hard thing. I think our team is huge on team spirit and team building to keep going forward.
As a team, working on who's playing where, keeping players healthy, formations that we're thinking about playing. What was kind of the focus of the first few days, seeing which players played well with others, and we've made some really good strides in the first 2.5 weeks.
When I was a freshman, we made the Sweet 16, so I want to go back there again. I think that's an incredible feeling to just be on that field and say you're in the Sweet 16, so definitely want us to get there this year.
And might not mean a thing, but Denver is winless in its first 6 games so far, has not scored a goal yet, but they have not played at home yet either. They do play at home, though, this Friday, hosting the University of Colorado. In women's soccer down in Oklahoma, Oral Roberts has won 2 of their first 4 matches. The Golden Eagles picked to finish 6th in the league this year, but they have a lot of veterans on the team, and they get to play quite a bit at home before the Summit League season begins.
First of all, it's been a great start. The kids are really energetic. They've been looking forward to this for a while. Some of them have been doing on their own practices together before they got here, so they've just been excited since last season. The experience factor is huge for us this year. Lots of returners. That's quite a bit different from last season when we were pretty young. There's a junior class that has playing time under their belt. That's going to help, and a tremendous senior class.
Well, I plan on actually being more offensive this year, because at a center back, you're normally supposed to be defensive and things like that. But since I used to be a center mid, I would love to kind of slide up more, get in that little secret space and just get the ball and find it more and help the attack more. So that's what I'd like to do this year. Team morale, definitely just being at home. That's like the morale of the school. They can come, we can through the week be like, hey, come watch our game. So that's fun for the girls, especially since they can get friends outside of soccer and they can invite them to come to the game. And it's just really great because we can do more team activities as well when we're here, and it's easier mentally to prepare for a home game compared to a away game.
Last season we spent so much time on the road, we didn't really get to connect with our fans, so we're excited about that part, and we're just excited about the schedule. We have a great schedule. We've got some top 25 teams and some NCAA tournament teams, and that's one of the things that we're hoping continues to identify our program.
Oral Roberts has 2 more home matches coming up this weekend. Here are the women's soccer players of the week. Offensive player of the week is just a freshman. South Dakota's Sammy Vilwak had 3 goals and an assist in USD's win over Green Bay. Her 7 total points are the 3rd most in the league right now. Caitlin Schockenmeyer is the defensive player of the week. Sophomore from Omaha had a 900 save percentage in 2 matches. She had 15 saves in a 1-1 double overtime match against North Dakota. Cross country coming up next. Can the South Dakota women stay out in front again this year? Sounds pretty likely.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau, and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Well, Summit League cross-country teams get their seasons started. They got started last week. Matter of fact, South Dakota has the women's team to beat this year. The Coyotes are the defending league champions, and they're picked to do it again. USD has 5 all-league performers back, and the Yotes are ready to run.
It's gone really well. I mean, the first couple of weeks, I didn't know where we'd come in at. You always compare it one year to the next to just see how things are moving along. And we actually went to running camp, and we have a real difficult route that many of our runners, it's a little far for. But they all finished it, and we looked at the results from a year ago in terms of mileage and how many intervals we're doing, and it seems to be that we're a little bit ahead of where we were a year ago. So from that perspective, I think things are going really well.
Camp was really good. We have a really large group of girls this year. I felt that we had a lot of really quality runs. We were able to bond, and I think everybody's coming into the season in pretty good shape, so I'm excited to see where that takes us.
I thought our camp went well. We had a lot of freshmen this year, so it was nice just to get to know everyone, and I think that we all have a pretty similar personalities. Like, no one seems outcast, and we all seem to get along pretty well, so hopefully it continues through the rest of the year and we can keep that chemistry going.
We have a good group of freshmen coming in, and it's fun to see them just become college athletes and get used to the whole idea of what it's like to be at a Division I school, and I think that that'll be something to look forward to and keep building on as the season progresses.
We need a lot of our freshmen to step up, and pretty much everyone just continually get better and better, and hopefully by the end of the year we can do something special, and we'll know more as the season goes on.
We know there's going to be a target on our back. We know that we were just picked to be the favorites on the women's side for the cross-country title. But the reality is we got to get better. All the teams in the conference have gotten better, and we want to get better. I mean, it's no fun if you're doing well, but not running your best times and having your best performances. So that's kind of been our focus, and we take one day at a time and try and be a little bit better from one day to the next as compared to a year ago.
I think we have some very simple and achievable goals, and we're just going to do all the right things that we possibly can do to reach them and not get ahead of ourselves, not get too excited, and just do what we need to do to be the best runners and be the best team that we can be.
Well, South Dakota won all 3 of its head-to-head matchups in the Bison Open in Fargo over the weekend. The Coyotes beat North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and North Dakota in the triple duel format. South Dakota's Amber Eichhorn was the winner individually. Well, everybody else got going over the weekend as well, including Western Illinois hosting the Early Bird Invitational. Western Illinois coach Russell Peterson calling this a test and a transition into the next phase of training for the Leathernecks. And it was hot out there, but Madison Leffler, top finisher for the Western women, finishes second overall, 15:01 over the 4,000 meters. And Grant Kaiser, the top Western men's finisher, he finishes in 8th place, 19 minutes 48 seconds over the 6K course for Kaiser. And Western Illinois competes in the Bradley Invitational coming up this weekend. We've got volleyball coming up next. Denver is the league favorite in just about everything this fall. They are in volleyball as well. Why? A preview of the Pioneers coming up.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau, and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Welcome back now to volleyball. Denver won the league tournament a year ago. The Pioneers are picked to do it again, and we will get to know them a little bit here in a minute. First, though, South Dakota is looking to be a contender, even though they lost 3 very good seniors, including Kendall Crittenbrink, who ended up 3rd all-time in the Summit League in kills.
With the thought, losing 3 seniors last year, they were both starters and they played a huge role, but I can see it as a positive. It's an opportunity for 3 new people to step up and have their opportunity, and I'm excited to see everyone fighting hard. It's a battle in practice.
We never really talked about the seniors being gone because it is our team still, and you don't replace the 3 that we had. You find different ways for people to contribute, and we've got some young kids that might make some differences right away, which is really exciting. We're definitely going to be a different team. We're a young team right now, but what makes it fun is they're hungry and they're excited to be here and they're excited to play and kind of fight for their position on the floor.
Well, I think everyone, we have 5 incoming freshmen, everyone needs to step up, and they all play in a really important role, and they've done an amazing job of stepping up and filling those shoes, which has been great. So it looks good so far.
I think the seniors coming up this year have all been there. You know, they understand what it's like to play on a big stage and to play in front of, you know, a great crowd in the den and even on the road in a hostile environment. So their experiences are really going to help our team move past that right away and not have those little things affect us in the long run. So, I mean, the leadership has been great so far in the practices. They've definitely been great at communicating with our young ones and helping them through some of the difficulties of our practices, and even just being able to share their experiences of how to get through it to a day, you know, when they're sore and they're tired, and, you know, there's days where they're like, oh, do I have to go back up? So I think they've done a really good job of inviting them in, making them part of our team right away, and not putting any excuses out there.
I'm excited that we schedule a tough preseason. It's only going to make us better. If we can play against those 6'5", 6'6" girls when we get to the Summit League, it's going to be advantageous for us, and we are willing to risk maybe not having a perfect record in preseason, but it's going to prepare us for the Summit League.
Well, the Coyotes lost their first 4 matches, but they have won their last 2 now, and the Coyotes play at a tournament in Grand Forks, North Dakota this weekend. Well, back to Denver. They have 2 all-league players back from a team that went 13-3 in the league last year. Expectations are very high again for the defending league tournament champions.
We've got a lot of talent on the roster. We have a lot of competition for spots. I think everybody came in shape and ready to go. Our 4 freshmen are really blending in really well. And we're just now getting to the point where we are kind of figuring out what our starting lineup's going to be.
I'm actually really proud of this team. I think this is like the best we've ever been, the best we've ever started, so I'm really excited to see what else we have in store this year.
We just have so many people back that understand the system, and instead of them learning, they're now teaching to other people. And you know, every practice is it's been kind of very well oiled. Everyone kind of knows what to expect and what's coming next. The communication's been fantastic, and so, you know, I don't know if we're playing better yet. I think maybe a little bit, but we're definitely able to cover more ground quicker.
I think we're just all like on the same page, and we got a lot of good new talent in, and we're all just ready to, like, there's a lot of young people last year, but now that we all been through like a winter and spring together, we're all on the same page and we're just ready, and we're working hard. So,
you know, we had a really good season, and I think that really just whet their appetite to have more. I think we accomplished a lot, but we were disappointed with the way it ended, and I think everyone on our roster feels like we can kind of take another step this year, so motivation hasn't been an issue.
Well, Denver has won 6 of its first 7 matches so far, and they have the Defensive Player of the Week. Sarah Schmid, who you just heard from in that preview, had 26 total blocks in 4 matches, all of them wins for the Pioneers. The senior from Highlands Ranch leads the league right now with 1.42 blocks per set. Laura Milos of Oral Roberts is the Offensive Player of the Week, 33 kills in a 5-set win over Marquette on Friday. That 33 is the season high in the league so far. And Oral Roberts won 2 matches over the weekend, both of them against teams in the coaches' top 25 poll. Milos, by the way, leads the Summit League in kills per set right now. Well, when we come back, cost of attendance benefits are coming to the Summit League. We've got Summit League basketball players signing to play pro basketball overseas, and the tweets of the week when we come back.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau, and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Well, 2 Summer League schools are among the first in the nation among mid-major programs to announce that they will provide cost of attendance money to athletes on scholarship. Starting next school year, North Dakota State University and the University of South Dakota will provide additional funds to scholarship athletes in all sports. The extra money is for things like travel and laundry and all the little extras costs that go into going to school. It's intended to cover the gap between what a scholarship pays for and the full cost of attendance. Well, every year, Summer League basketball sends a handful of players overseas to play professional basketball in the European leagues, and they've got a handful again this year. Brooke Lamar of North Dakota State is signed with a team in Copenhagen in the Danish Basketball Federation's elite division. Lamar was second in the league in points and assists per game last year. There are a handful of men's players doing it as well. Cody Larson of South Dakota State playing in Austria with the Gussing Knights in the Austrian A-League. They start their season September 25th. Tyler Larson of South Dakota signed to play in Latvia with a team called BK Jakobpils. They start play in October. Steve Forbes of Fort Wayne just signed to play in Argentina. They get their season started later this month. Mike Rostampour of Omaha has signed to play for BC Previtza in the Slovak League, the highest pro league in Slovakia. They start playing the first week of October. Dave Ron Williams of IUPUI will play for a team in the Basketligan in Sweden. They get started on October 1st. And Lawrence Alexander of North Dakota State is in Germany with Mitteldeutscher Basketball Club in Germany's top basketball division. And finally this week, the tweets of the week. Omaha men's soccer with some very nice fancy graphics pointing out the Mavericks' latest win. We've got a national ranking alert from the Summit League for Denver and Omaha in men's soccer. And they are both in the top 25 in the top drawer rankings. More nice graphics from the league showing the extensive travel for league volleyball teams on opening weekend, more than 5,000 miles logged there. And from our Inside the Summit League producer, Chad Hunt, congratulations on the birth of his son, Camden.